Well, good evening, internets. It's me, DP Knudten, with another edition of Bookward Bound, my 301-day journey from I should really do this to done. And what is that done? That done is the creation of a brand new book by January 1st, 2021. Yep, I come down here every night to do a consecutive daily live stream, doing something to move the book forward towards its publication date on Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing platform. Now, some nights I'm writing, other nights I'm editing, some nights I'm designing, some nights I'm outlining or mind mapping parts of the book. Well, every night is different, and it kind of depends on what I feel like doing, because I'm very undisciplined when it comes to writing a book. But you're helping me out by making me come down here, so thank you very much for that. That said, what am I going to do tonight? Oh, I don't know. Actually, I do know, because I've been working on a new section about my friend Don Stanley, who's a university professor here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison in the Life Sciences Communication Department. And we actually yesterday I edited the second episode of a 2-episode series with him for the NONFICTION BRAND podcast, which comes out every Monday. And I wanted to grab some pull quotes. And I tried last night, but I didn't have everything figured out exactly right with Descript, the application or website that I'm using to actually get this stuff done. So I needed to figure that out, and I did. In fact, I actually have a paid subscription for Descript because it's kind of cool. What does Descript do? Well, it does this. Let me get this out of the way. Descript actually will take your audio file, like my edited podcast episode down here, and transcribe it, and it's pretty darn accurate. I mean, there are some things in here I need to correct, like I always go NONFICTION BRAND, all caps. Or actually, that's for the podcast. So I go NON, capital F, fiction, brand, which is just my way of making it a little bit. True nonfiction brand way that you do. Okay, but I want to look through the actual words on this section and see if there's a bunch that I might want to pull into this section of the book. Let's see if I can. I want to zoom this. Can I zoom this? Hold on, I got to get over here. View. Zoom in is, of course. No. See, that doesn't do it for the words. Oh, well. Really ask good questions. Good, awesome. Carrie, Jennifer, Mike. So what I'm doing is I'm scanning through the verbatim for a section that I want to pull in here. It's vital health. I know there are a lot of people living long testing outs. Game of Thrones line. Winter is coming. Let's see, looking at. Decide what platform would be best. Copy. So I wanted to talk about him experiments. Here we go. What he calls experiments. I can plug this in here. Give that some italics. This is episode 110, so I can grab that. And so what I'm doing is I'm leveraging my podcast for my book, and then my book is I'm leveraging it for my podcast in a way, because I'm encouraging people to look up old episodes and by extension new episodes, right? Smart, huh? I hope so. I don't know if it's smart, but demonstrate your brand. And so I'm looking at some things with different types of meditation, different types of breathing, different types of journaling, and just they put a period in there. Now, so I can fix it in here too. The cool thing here is that Descript, get rid of the period, it'll automatically lowercase the following word, which is nice. So it's already it's kind of thinking. It's doing a little bit of thinking here, which I appreciate. Just how it's working. See if anybody wants to join me. Kind of like an open mastermind type deal. Mastermind. No, I'll leave it like that. Open, comma. So I can go in here and I can fix up over here. Don's the kind of teacher I wish I had back in the day. But that was long before social media existed. It was even before personal computers existed. If you must know. But he's always bringing his encyclopedic knowledge of both social media and brand marketing to his classes. Even when some of the students might not be enthusiastic may not be enthusiastic about the subject. She didn't believe in the personal branding power of social until and then it worked for until it worked for her. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Until it worked for her. Make that 0.5. Oop, and actually make that 5. Oh, I wonder if I'll be able to get her name. I heard that one of his excuse me, at one of his wonderful live presentations, I heard once excuse me, Don tell the story of one of his most skeptical students. And vocal students. Most such would just keep their mouths shut and nod their way through the semester. But this one was not content to. This one was not content to let things slide. She actually confronted Don, saying something along the lines of, I think social media is a complete waste of time. She's not. You don't have to be a student to have that point of view either. Point of view. Highly likely that some readers of this book subscribe to the same opinion. As a seasoned teacher, Don knew exactly what to do. Call her on her opinionated not experienced bluff and give her an empirical challenge. That provoked the competitive science communicator within. Just pick one social channel and post things you wish to talk about. I wonder if I can find it. I know it's Scientific American, so let's see. Scientific American. Yeah. Communicators. Social media scientist. I don't know if that would be it. Ooh, there's one called. Gotta go back. How to become a scientist communicator. Oh, dang it. I don't know if that's going to work, but I'm hoping that Don will be able to get me in contact with this student. Just pick one subject and post the things you wish to talk about on a regular basis using the techniques we talked about in class. If nothing happens, comma, you win. You're right, and you win. But if something does happen, now what competitive person is going to pass up showing up your college professor? Is going to pass what is going to pass up showing up your college professor? So she did as Don asked and began creating blog posts about that surprise demonstrated how you can create compelling social media content that actually leverages leverages the networking effects of great compelling content. I want to use social media here, so I'm going to get rid of it there. Of social media to attract readers, engage conversation, and ideally convert one-time readers to regular fans. And you know what? Yeah, I know what happened. It worked. Big time. This social agnostic is now a regular contributor to Scientific Americans to Scientific American. Americans website, digital publishing properties. In less than 3 months of regular posting, she was noticed by the editors. The editors, publications editors, as a young science communicator to watch, and was quickly invited into their orbit, into their work of contributors. She hadn't graduated, even graduated yet, and she worked her personal brand way to the radar screen of one of the United States, one of America's most prestigious publications. Okay. By the publications editors, magazines, most prestigious science publications. What do you think that did to the authority and quality of her personal brand and her option resume. Impressive. I'd say so. She lost the challenge, but won. She lost Don's challenge, but won a huge leap forward for her yet to begin professional career. Think she's a proponent of using social media now? All right, so I need to get this story. Oh, I wonder if maybe. Okay, this is where, all right. So now this is where I can use Descript. So let's see. I want to do this. I'm going to go to the old podcasts that I recorded with Don, which were quite a ways back, and I'm actually going onto an external drive to do this. So bear with me a second. Don Stanley. I think he's been on 3 times, maybe. Yeah, 52. I wonder. Well, there's only one way to find out. So what I can do is I can go back and I can create, add new composition, and I will actually drag over, and actually I'll show you this as I do it. I'll grab episode 52, bring it on over here, just drop it. You can see it's going to be adding the file. And you can see it right down there. Down here I can say detect speakers, and there are 2 speakers in there. And then hit transcribe, and it will do that. So it's going to think its way through the entire podcast audio episode, and then it'll ask me in just a few seconds, or maybe a minute, to name the speakers. But normally, okay, if I were to take this and try to transcribe the entire episode, it's a half-hour episode. I think in general, when you transcribe, you can almost double, or at least double, but probably more like 4 times. So if it's a half-hour episode, consider it taking 2 to 3 hours to transcribe because you got to stop and start, stop and start, stop and start. And if you're like me, not a terribly great touch typist, you're fixing more mistakes and typos than anything else. Okay, so here it says speakers detected. Now I can say,
yep. And that's one of the things I'll often do when I'm doing my workshops.
All right, so that's done. Hold on. Did that work? Oh, dang it. It didn't work. Because that's one of the things with this user interface I don't like. It you can't tell for sure if you got it right. So I wonder if I can do detect speakers now. Show archive timestamps. It can show timestamps. All right. Well, I'm going to go through this, unfortunately, because it kind of messed up the speaker situation. So glad to hear Dan is chewing. Title. Read the whole thing, so maybe the first word. Brand is a dirty word. A lot of people in the personal birthday space. Mark Schaefer. Let's look, the brand. Substituted. I had a veteran. Oh, here we go. And I had a veterinarian student who's like, marketing's a total bunch of BS. Bingo. And I'll actually do a bit further because here we go. Yay, I found it. So I want to get this. It's all about veterinary studies. Pitching it for my dogs. No. Well, this might be. Big brand, bad brand. Oh, darn it. No. Differentiation, Vaynerchuk, Pat Flynn. Let's go back to the place I highlighted. Or actually, yeah, it's almost done. See a little bit further because going to grab this copy. So let's put this in here. Let's see if it works. Here's Don talking about some of that scientific skepticism about social media and branding. I'll grab this. Podcast 56, right? 52. I've had a lot of science students, including PhD science students, and I had a veterinarian student who's like, marketing's a total marketing and branding. Marketing is a total bunch of BS. It's all about being manipulative, etc. And I said, oh, that's great. You know, that's what you want to believe. So tell me right now, does my dog need to take this medication or that medication? Or is this type of medication for this condition, you know, made up? Made up doesn't make sense. Where is that made up? And they started pitching their belief in their idea. And I said, what are you doing now? You're trying to sell me a veterinary solution. Yeah, because they were there. Their take was, while a medical intervention, in this case of Lyme's and potential Lyme's disease is something that you would want to do, blah, 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 blah. And I said, what you're doing there is your marketing. You're trying to convince me that what you believe in, and you truly believe it, but that solution is right, where somebody might tell me that there's a natural option. No, natural options won't work. The natural options aren't as good as this. And I'm like, well, wait a second. You just told me that, you know, that our marketing is about trying to convince people. Who don't believe in marketing. Themselves, their expertise, their services, are just cogs waiting to be needed instead of premium quality solution servers, asking to be used, instead, just waiting to be needed and swapped out. Instead of premium quality solution servers. Consumer exactly what they need when they need it. Or just all right, this is getting a little old, or not old, but I'm getting a little fidgety, as you can kind of see. And yeah, it never fails. I get right around 42, 45 minutes, and I'm like, I think I'm done for tonight, which is exactly what I want to say. I think I'm done for tonight. So I am going to hang this up for this evening, but that's okay, because I'll be back here tomorrow night, because I'm doing these darn nightly, daily live streams working on the book. Tonight, it was probably, let's see, how many words do I think I put in here? I think I added about 700 words. Yeah, so that's cool. Though those were 700 words I didn't have an hour ago. And that helps me flesh out my book, because 700 words will translate to about 2.5 pages at 300 words a page-ish. I'll probably have some images and things like that to take up some space in the book. But yeah, it continues, and so it goes. And that's because you frankly forced me to come down here and work on this damn thing. I didn't want to, but I did anyway, because I made a commitment to you and a commitment reflexively to myself. So thank you for helping me work on this book. My name's David Paul Knudten. It's DP Knudten. I go by DP. Long story. Just know that it's D for David, P for Paul, Knudten for Knudten. And I thank you for helping me with this. I also would love for you to check out the Nonfiction Podcast episode that comes out tomorrow. It's episode number 110 with Don Stanley, who I was just writing about today. So you can find out more about him and meet him. He's a great guy and a good friend, and certainly a big booster of the podcast. So, I would love for you to become a booster of the podcast too. Just look for the Nonfiction Brand podcast, wherever you get your fine podcasts for free. And if you like the episodes that you listen to, give it a thumbs up, or even better, also subscribe to the entire podcast with new episodes every Monday. Refer it to other people, and most of all, can you do me this super big solid? Review it wherever you get your podcast, because that really helps people find it. Thanks so much for helping me out tonight and making me come down here and work on this. That's it for me until tomorrow. But until then, theme music, take us on out. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.